Hey there, welcome. I'm Damien and I'm just another starving artist on the internet. And I know I'm rather late to the party, everyone has already had a go at Kooleen, and it's all news now. Well, I was busy so I'm doing it now and I don't care. The first thing I want to say is that my intention with this video is not to drag Kooleen through the mud or send her any hate at all. Please don't bully anyone, in person or online. I would like to use this as a case study to learn some things about art. Not about making art, but rather about the way we consume art and the things artists have to do to prosper in the current social media scene. I know I don't have a lot of videos on this platform right now, but if you look at some of them, you will see that I started the channel by doing a character design journal, where I talk about my thought process and how I come up with ideas for characters, and then I switched to discussing art-related topics in a more commentary style format. But you will notice that I don't do tutorials or tell you explicitly how something should be drawn, because I don't think I'm in any way qualified to teach art. I'm still just messing around with art myself. Now, I do plan on getting some of you to submit your art for me to review and suggest things you can do to improve it once my channel gets a bit bigger. But I will definitely take it in a completely different direction and be very mindful of what you guys want to do with your art before I give you any advice at all. All this talk about myself is to say that I'm not really a fan of Kooleen's content. A lot of her videos consist of this mean, overly confident persona telling you the correct way to draw things. She also has this series of videos where she will roast and fix art that has been sent to her by her viewers. And those are the videos that cause this whole ordeal we're going to talk about. We will get to them in a moment, but anyway, I don't like this type of content. The roasting thing is something I engage with in private and with people I feel very comfortable being mean to because they know I don't mean it. I am aware that Kooleen's viewers willingly submitted their art to be roasted, but this creates a weird parasocial dynamic that I don't feel great about, if I'm completely honest. Especially when the roasting is done to a party that looks up to you and doesn't really have a way to respond and roast you back on the same level and directly. And if you have watched any of my other videos, you probably know that I struggle with self-esteem when it comes to my art specifically, and I talk about how to overcome it. I am my own harshest critic, and anything bad anyone can say about my art, I have already said it in front of a mirror. I don't really need a random person on the internet pointing out my mistakes for laughs. That's why I try to do the complete opposite to Kooleen in my content. But I understand that we have different strategies to get noticed by the algorithm, and to each their own, I guess. If you like that type of video, go for it. It's not my thing though. Now, the controversy itself. You have probably already seen some of the images we're talking about. They are all over the little art corner of YouTube. Kooleen is clearly not familiar with how darker skinned people look. There is the drawing where she called edges a second pair of eyebrows, and then the one where she fixed the side view of a black person, and while explaining how to draw the profile of a person, the quote-unquote wrong example said gorilla-looking MF, and it just so happens to look more like a profile found more commonly on black people. Most of us will understand the implications of saying someone with black features looks like a gorilla. I am 100% sure she did not mean to be racist. In her Instagram apology, she said, I will quote directly, I was ignorant of the implications of using certain words, as I do not consume much Western content. And come on, let's be real, no matter how racist you are, if you know what this wording means, you won't just drop it like that in a video. That's a literal social media suicide. I will only half defend her here though. On one side, I understand that not everybody is exposed to the same media or cultural values, and certain aspects that are somewhat taboo, such as the subtleties of discriminatory language, can go unnoticed unless someone points them out to you. East Asia, and therefore East Asian media, has a very different relationship with racism, and it's not like every piece of American media is a documentary on the history of racism in America either. I can see myself making similar mistakes when I first moved to the UK from Spain, and as I became more familiar with the language and engaged with the English side of the internet, I discovered that some things carry vastly different connotations in different contexts. In my case, I just fixed those mistakes in private because I didn't have a million people paying attention to what I was saying. But that's where I had to stop defending her. She's known for saying that she only draws pretty people, which when paired with the previous gorilla comments, it just sounds even worse. Because they are low effort and people like it. This sounds to me like comfort zone art. Very similar to each other and actually kind of boring, in my opinion, which you're free to disagree with. I don't know if she draws all the things in private and chooses to not share them as they might not get as much traffic or likes. And I am by no means saying that her art is not good. There's a lot to learn from what she does, but her tutorials don't encourage experimenting with visual styles or working on fundamentals, but rather copy the way she draws because that's the fast line to success and the only objectively correct way of drawing, with a strong focus on the final polish instead of the process. And I mean, it worked for her, and once again, don't get me wrong, I'm glad to see someone in the art community becoming successful, even if I'm personally not a fan of their work. Wish that was me though. The pretty people she draws all look very similar. It's the conventionally good-looking East Asian celebrity, basically a K-pop idol. And I'm assuming, yes, I'm assuming for the sake of my next argument, just bear with me 1 second, that besides not consuming a lot of Western media, a big portion of what she does consume is media, either live action or not, where the characters and actors are held to a similar beauty standard, and she uses those characters and actors as reference for future works. Sometimes artists spend too long looking at references derived from the artwork of other artists and become engulfed in these stylistic interpretations to the point that we lose a bit of touch with reality and start to forget how real things look. I know I have been there at one point, and now I make an active effort to study real-life references regularly and not just fictional, conventionally attractive people. If you follow Kooleen's advice, as she says it, you might improve. You could get closer to your art goals and all that, but you will hit the limits very soon and your progress will slow down massively. Just don't get stuck in the comfort zone if you truly want to improve. In the background of this video, I have been doing some quick studies of dark-skinned faces, and I know that most of the references I'm using are very conventionally attractive people, potentially models and actors. I just went on Pinterest and found some. Also, one more thing, I believe that the technique she was showing in the Gorilla Controversy video was learned from another YouTuber called Ethan Becker. I don't know if he invented this technique, but he's the only other person I have seen talking about it. In fact, it looks like he recently released a video addressing the correct way to use what is now known as the racist triangle. With all this said, it doesn't mean Kooleen cannot improve her art and learn from this mistake. I don't think she's a racist, it was just an unfortunate and uninformed joke that happened to be seen by way too many people. And that's all I have to say for now. I hope you found it helpful and insightful, if only a little. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, and if you have any suggestions for things you want me to talk about in the future. And you know, like, subscribe, do all the things that make the algorithm happy. Also, if you like my work, you will find a link to all my social media in the description. If you want to support me, you will find my Ko-fi page in the same link. But if you would like something in return for your support, you can also visit my shop. So yeah, keep drawing, keep getting better, and I'll see you next time.